Coming to you live from the concrete slab that will one day be the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. This is the Film versus Film Awards episode. I am your host, Quinn Boys. I have hosted the Country Music Awards 14 times in my life, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, the Oprah to my Uma, Leonard Smith Jr. Leonard, how's it going, buddy?
I am here begrudgingly. Sorry, I just yes, I'm gonna vape on the stage. We are technically outside. I'm gonna tell you one thing. This award show
completed.
The dome is not completed. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about this award show. I'm not into it, okay? But we're here. I lost. I'm a sore loser. I'm not going to try to speak on it anymore. I'm sure Quinn's going to bring it up. How's everybody doing today? We got an exciting award show for you. You ready for this, Quinn?
I'm ready for it. And just to further set the scene again, we have previously hosted our award shows from various locations, most famously the Staples Center, now Crypto.com Arena, aka the Crypt. And Steve Ballmer, owner of the Clippers, who shares that arena with the Los Angeles Lakers, was very, he's a prideful man, and he was a little bit upset that we would host the show in what is commonly referred to as the home of the Lakers. So the Intuit Dome, which will open in 2 years, as the new home of the Los Angeles Clippers, is where we find ourselves today. Of course, it's a concrete slab out in the open. It's less of a dome than it is just a flat plot of land. And
hey, you know what? You know what I'll say about this scene?
80 degrees. What will you say about it?
I'll say about this. It's pretty dusty out here. It's real dusty. There's a lot of dust. There's a lot of dust.
It is an active construction site.
It is an active construction site, and I'm going to tell you something. I've seen a lot of catcalling going on, but it's not the catcalling you would think of. These gentlemen really just seem to really love open-toed sandal shoes. They've been catcalling the Tevas. They've been catcalling the Birkenstocks. They've been seeing Yeezy slides. They went crazy when they saw those Yeezy slides. I'll tell you. I don't know. People they love open-toed shoes now. These fellas can't get enough.
I don't know if they were going crazy over the Yeezy slides or just the fact that I was wearing them, Leonard, but they certainly seem to like it.
It's a fashion statement, Quinn, and I'm going to tell you, you're pulling it off.
Well, thank you. I've got more confidence recently because I don't know if you're aware of this, Leonard, but I won season 5 of the Film versus Film podcast. It was a tremendous victory. I blew the doors off you. A lot of people are saying that's how a lot of people are describing it. I would agree.
A lot of people who are saying that the last 2 wins were fluke, and I really should have won those last 2. So if you really look at the record, it would have been
still a win for me.
It would have been a 5-4 win.
Right.
So that the refs, it's all Vegas. They're all playing a part. Okay. It's cool. No one saw a 7-2 line.
You know what I can say for this location, Leonard, this beautiful dusty patch of land on an open construction site in Inglewood, California, is because it's not built and we are just out in the open. You can see, if God forbid, but we will be able to see Michael Jordan coming from far away.
We have eyes on Michael. We will be prepared. We have ran this scenario. We have an active Michael Jordan scenario.
Yes.
And we're ready.
There was a list. There is it's not a door so much because, again, this is not a building, but there is an entrance. There are 2 entrance cones from which you're supposed to pass through. And we did give the guy guarding the cones a picture of Michael Jordan as our one, do not allow this person in. And he was confused. And we were like, no, for real. He's not allowed to come in here.
He's not allowed.
Leonard, let's get down to our many awards. We've got so many awards. We've got 9 awards to give out, I believe, this episode, this awards show. And we're going to start right off the top. We'll exchange. You've got the envelopes. I've got the envelopes. We should remind people again, we do not make the selections. We are just the hosts of the podcast and the award show. The selections are made
just the hosts
by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the disgraced body.
I'll tell you this. I saw a lot of billboards out on Sunset, a lot of billboards on Hollywood for the campaigning, for your consideration. And once again, we are not making any of these selections. I'm sorry, Cujo. Okay. I'm sorry. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. These choices are not up to us.
Your campaigns are falling on deaf ears. I saw a huge billboard right outside LAX and said, for your consideration, Rob Bowen for best guest. And that was seasons ago.
It's just Rob. That was seasons ago. It's not possible.
Money wasted. It's money wasted.
Yeah. So what's the first award we're giving out today, Quinn?
First award, Leonard. Let's just go right to one of the big heavy hitters. We are talking about, of all the movies picked, of all the episodes of season 5, what was the best movie? Do you have any thoughts on what this might be?
Well, I mean, this is what the people want. And here at the Film versus Films Award Show, we give you what you want right up top. That's right. After 10 minutes of us rambling, you get what you want. Okay.
That's right.
And you know what? When you first say that, the first thing that comes to mind is, for me, is Old Boy. I mean, who doesn't love a revenge story? Kind of like the theme of this season. You getting revenge. Not only did you hit me in the head and knock me out, but you kept stabbing me. And you kept stabbing me. I was already dead, Quinn. Why?
I wouldn't say I got revenge to the level of Old Boy, but I would say
excessive.
That you should be glad you don't have a daughter.
Wow. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. So thankfully, that also will never happen to me.
Lucky if we're gonna
you would do that, Quinn.
No, I'm just saying I wasn't an option. I don't know what I would have done. I don't want to know.
I don't really think there were too many heavy hitters this season, but you can't. You got to say Heat. I mean, how can you not say Heat as far as heavy hitters go? Just recently, Michael Mann announced that Heat 2 will be coming.
I saw that. I was a little bit taken aback by that. Is that
very surprising, right?
Is that reliable? Yeah. I saw that he posted a picture.
It was on Twitter, so I don't know if it's reliable, but it's like 20 years later.
Yeah, it was announced by him on Twitter, and I didn't see like any further details. But you know what? I'm going to choose to believe it. Leonard, I have the envelope for this one. Let me open this up here and see what the Hollywood Foreign Press Association has decided. Okay, here we go. Got it out here. The best movie selected and screened as part of season 5 of the Film versus Film podcast is Chris Edens. Are you sitting down? Scary Movie. It is Scary Movie. The best film in season 5.
Holy shit.
Why are you laughing, Leonard?
I didn't see this coming. Once again, we are not on the selection. That one got me. I'm not gonna lie. Hollywood Foreign Press, you got me this time.
You rascals, you're at it again.
You rascals, Scary Movie.
That counts as progress for them because they did pick a movie with several black actors. So that's a win for the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
If there's gonna be black people in it, we're gonna be mocking you. That we will celebrate that.
Congratulations to everyone involved in the Scary Movie. And if you're sitting at home thinking, should I rewatch this? Maybe don't. But
it's a big win for Regina Hall. She was the theme of this entire season of who was in this movie. And you know what? I'm happy she's going home with some hardware. Can't be mad at that.
Chris Edens, super fan Chris Edens and repeat guest, friend of the pod, Chris Edens, was sitting here. He's got a spot carved out for him on the concrete slab, and he is walking away into the desert. He is not happy about that. He's just
shaking his head. He's just shaking his head as he's walking away.
Yep. It's the same. Just a man in a full tuxedo just walking away inside the desert. You don't see it very often, but we hope he gets home safe.
But Chris pulls it off. As always, we talked about what's the best movie of the bunch in this season, and now we've got to talk about what's the worst.
The worst.
What's the worst?
This is tough.
Which one of these movies was Quinn the last 3 seasons of Film versus Film? That's what we're going to ask ourselves.
Okay. That's not even an elegant metaphor. To think about what you were trying to get at. But
I'm just so shocked that Scary Movie is just one best film.
Yeah, we're all shocked by it. But it's canon now. It's official.
It's official.
Leonard, I believe you have well, actually, let me take a guess here.
What do you think? How do you feel?
It's gonna be. I mean, we watched a lot of good movies. There were a few movies that I was like, usually in the season we're like, man, fuck this. But I didn't do that so much this time. I'm going to say, if I had to venture a guess, the worst movie would be Cujo. I think the Hollywood Foreign Press Association
that movie,
is a bunch of dog lovers, and they don't like Cujo, which seems to be ambivalent or hateful towards dogs.
Well, that movie was pretty bad. It was.
I liked it more than you, but yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like some people might also mention the opponent to that movie, Free Willy, because that movie was pretty silly. That whale was on the back of that truck for like 6 hours. That whale would have died.
They had a hose. He was fine. They freed him. Freedom doesn't come easy, Leonard.
Okay. All right. I've got the envelope. I'm ready to open it.
I'm nervous for these films.
All right. Oh, wait, what? Hold on.
Leonard's doing a double take. He cannot believe what he's seeing here.
Oh my God. The worst movie out of all these movies. Children of Men, man. Nobody likes Children of Men.
Children of Men?
People don't like it when fucking babies aren't born. What is
Children
happening?
of Men?
That's a good movie.
That's a great movie. That should have been. Are we sure that these envelopes, Leonard, are we 100% sure that these envelopes didn't get switched and that they put Scary Movie in the best movie envelope and Children of Men in the worst movie envelope?
I feel like that might have happened. And you know what? I think I may have had the person handling the envelopes a little frazzled, because I want to apologize to you, Quinn, and any listeners. If I'm in roast mode right now, so I've just been roasting really hard. I've been watching a lot of roasts, roast me, and so if I take it too far, just let me know, and I'm apologizing now beforehand.
It's always appreciative when I meet a responsible roaster, someone who's like, "Hey, I could go off at any minute, just start roasting you." So apologies now.
It's an award show. I don't want to get slapped. So I'm just gonna
That's
apologize.
True. That's true. Got to be careful who you roast. When I arrived at the award show and I got out of my limo in my Yeezy slides, Leonard said, "Where'd you get those shoes?" The fucking Gap. And I said, this is a man who's been roasting people night and day, because that hurt.
You know what? That's why I had to tell you that you were pulling it off, because you are pulling it off.
Well, thank you, man. Well, okay. Well, apologies to Children of Men. I do see Clive Owen here on the concrete slab. He is upset, and we're sorry to Clive. We're sorry to the CGI baby that he pulled out of that vagina in the movie, and really everyone involved in that picture.
But we do appreciate you showing up to this concrete slab once again, Clive Owen. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much.
No, in fact, I don't remember inviting him, but he is here. Okay, moving on to, well, we've talked about the films. We haven't named all of them, but let's talk about the best individual performance in any of the films we watched this season, Leonard. There's some standouts. I mean, we did 2 actor-specific episodes this season, so you got to think Regina Hall, Tom Hanks, they featured heavily. I mean, but we've had a lot of really good performances.
Maybe that's the reason why Clive Owen is here. Maybe he's expecting to win an award for Children of Men.
That's a good point. That's a good point. He brought a CGI little baby.
You know what? Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today.
Mm-hmm.
But the parents of the whale from Free Willy, the children of the whale from Free Willy are here at the award show.
Kiko's kids are here. That's amazing. That's what that big tank is. That's what that big old saltwater tank
saltwater tank with just dust blowing all around it with those whales inside. It's a pretty small tank, honestly, but you know what? This isn't a long award show, so I think we'll be okay.
This is like when they brought Heath Ledger's family. Or no, actually, it was they did bring Heath Ledger's family, but more recently, unfortunately, under similar circumstances where the actor had passed before the award show. But when the Academy brought Chadwick Boseman's whole family out because they thought he was going to win. And then like Anthony Hopkins won and he wasn't even there to accept the award. He was just like, "Oh, thanks. Another one of these? Great."
Wow.
Yeah. Got to do a little bit more advanced thinking about that, Academy. Not like our award show, which is tip top. Okay. The award for best performance in a film versus film season 5 movie goes to wow. Kiko's Kids, I'm so sorry. It goes to Cujo the dog. Cujo the dog wins the best performance in season 5 film versus film. That was a scary dog, Leonard. I agree with this one.
That was a scary 3 dogs because a couple of them
several dogs
passed away on set. So, this is in memoriam to all 3 of them. That was really nice that we at Film versus Film, who do not make the selections, did the right thing. We did the right
accepting
thing.
The award posthumously for Cujo is one harried LA dog walker with a leash with 8 chihuahuas on it. So I'm sure he'll find a good spot for that award.
Posthumously.
Yes.
All I heard was pasta. Okay.
Was that a roast?
It was a roast on myself.
Oh, okay.
Because all I heard was pasta. Okay, anyways, once again, for some reason, Quinn gets to do all the best, and I get to do all the worst.
Yeah, we really didn't. Leonard, you take the next 2. You take the next 2. I'll tell you what the next one is. Well, I'll tell you the next 2 is, but you do the next one, which is worst performance. Maybe you're just better at giving bad news.
Yeah. I'm in roast mode, so I'm not afraid to dish out a little bad news. Worst performance.
I hope it's not Clive Owen. I hope it's not Clive Owen.
I really hope it's Clive Owen because he has not looked away. He's been trying to lock eyes with me for about a good 2 minutes here.
Don't meet his gaze.
Cigarette, that's the ember of that cigarette is just so bright. I don't understand how it's that bright. It doesn't make sense.
No, it's noon. There's no reason that we should be seeing the ember of a cigarette as brightly as well.
It's also the slowest burning cigarette I've ever seen. That cigarette he's been smoking that same cigarette for at least 10 minutes. I don't understand what's happening. Okay.
I'm sure he's inhaling it.
Worst performance. Ooh. Okay.
Nobody wants this one. Uh-oh.
Worst performance goes to the little girl from Aliens.
Newt? The little girl from Aliens? Newt?
Oh, no.
Oh,
that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
She was going to be here for the award show, but she mostly comes out at nights, mostly. So unfortunately, she was not able to make it.
She has PTSD, okay?
Yeah.
Come on, man. She was trapped on that space station with all of those aliens. That's just...
Yeah.
It's a little harsh.
I guess if I had to venture a guess, it would be that the judges did not buy her performance of a sweet little girl who was living in an alien-infested planet when all of her parents had died and was just sort of like somehow still alive. Perhaps they didn't buy that part of it. I'm not sure. That's very unfortunate. She is a full-grown adult, so maybe better equipped to handle it now. But still, you hate to give an award like that to a child.
All right. Well, you know what? We for some reason we're one of the few award shows that does the best and the worst award. So there are highs, there are lows. Let's go back to a nice high. We're gonna talk.
I want you to give this one out, Leonard. You have the award for best guest.
Yes. I'm doing the best guest, and we had a lot of great guests this season, as we always do.
Yeah, we had 9 guests, and 8 of them were great. See, I don't actually have a guest I dislike, but now people think I have a guest that I dislike.
To figure which one out. That was instantly. I just stopped. I was like, which guest was he talking about? We had a couple repeat guests this season. Has any of them won an award before? I think they have. Maybe we could have a first ever two-time Film versus Film award winner here.
It's true. It's very possible.
We'll have to.
I think that's why Chris Edens was here before he left. He was really hoping he'd take home some hardware. Leonard, before we announce, can you please tell us what the season 5 Film versus Film Award trophy is, just for the people listening at home who can't see?
Once again, after last season's award show, we had to rework the award.
Totally scrapped it. Start from scratch. Yep.
Totally scrapped it. Had to rework it. And okay, so at the bottom it is kind of like a shape of like a ear of corn, like a hot buttery ear of corn.
Hot buttered ear of corn.
He's a hot buttered ear of corn. Okay.
Yep, I can see it. I'm looking right at it.
And there are 2 opposing jaw lines biting on the sides of the corn. Okay.
Okay.
So it's kind of like people battling, film versus film. It's two people battling over an ear of corn. And it's a much more sophisticated way of, people eating popcorn in a movie theater. Instead, this is what I was told by the person who created this award. And I was just like, sure. And I just kept listening. I was trying to be a nice guy. But the entire time, all I was thinking about was roasting his ass. But I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's a hot buttery piece of corn with two jaw lines opposing each other, and then out of that is a microphone stand. And
okay,
it's an interesting take on the film versus film podcast.
It's the most obscure one we've had yet, but that's I can see perfectly that you're describing it perfectly because I can see it because we're here and I'm looking at
watching it.
But I mean, God help the people at home that have to try to make heads or tails of that. So
yeah, I think this is the first time
piece of corn on a microphone stand.
Yes. And we had a lot of great guests. We had Connor McCabe on. We had Chris Evans on. We had Brian Simpson on. Mm-hmm. We had Rachel Marsh on. Mm-hmm. We had
the delightfully outre Alyssa Sabo.
Oh, that was great. We had Courtney Nunes.
Cassie Hoagie.
Now
it's just like whoever we are leaving out, we are offending terribly. But it's not about who we had on, Leonard. It's about who was best. Okay, so I'm going to need you to open that envelope and let us know.
You can't forget your homie Jason Hellerman.
Absolutely not, Jason Hellerman. I expect he's up for this award potentially.
All right. Here we go. And this season's best guest. Oh, okay. Wow.
Sean Will was not necessarily the winner, but he's a guest. That
is the winner is Sean Williams. Give it up for Sean Will.
The one guest
is the winner. I was like, how did you? That was crazy. I was literally about to say that as I was reading it off the paper.
And I'm reading it, not realizing that I'm saying the name in the spot where you would be announcing the winner because I was like, that's who we forgot. But
yeah,
wow,
I just thought
that's karma.
I just thought you were just trying to steal my shine.
I apologize.
Yeah, that's cool.
But not to Sean.
And you know what? That was a tough episode. That was a really tough episode. First of all, Heat is an amazing movie, and he's black, so dead presidents. It was tough. Yeah. I put a tough one on him.
That's true. We really made him pick against his people, but he had to go with quality on that episode.
Yeah, had to go to quality. All right.
I mean, you made him pick against his people, not me. I wasn't framing the argument in that sense. Oh, Leonard, the vapes have caught up to him. Leonard he's laughing and he's coughing. This is not professional award show behavior.
Phlegm in my chest. Yeah, sorry. What's
there to say about Sean Will? A very energetic comedian, a delightful guest, and a man of taste. He picked my film. I mean, I think those are the three criteria by which we should select every best guest winner.
Yeah, I had never seen Heat, so I was happy to see it, but it was like motherfucker.
Yeah.
Great film. Also, the movie Heat lost to Scary Movie for greatest movie of the season.
It did, and that's canon now, so that will forever be true. All right, now let's move right into worst guest. We've been discussing these people already, so I'll just open the envelope and see. Rob Bowen, I know, is hoping that his 3-time consecutive award streak will come to an end, but we've had a lot of 3-time streaks end, Leonard. So let's see. Okay, here we go. The worst guest from season 5 of the Film versus Film Awards was, oh man, got to go all the way back to the 80s to find this loser, Alyssa Sabo. Now, does this envelope say Rob Bowen? And may I have crossed that out to write Alyssa Sabo because I'm still salty that she didn't pick Ferris Bueller's Day Off as the best 80s film? No, of course not. The envelope says Alyssa Sabo, so that's unfortunately how it has to be. I think,
damn, that's a rough one, man.
We've had our differences, but I don't like to see this. She was a fine guest. She was a great guest, but the HFPA makes the call, so it's tough.
Yeah, man.
tough.
You know what?
Accepting
what can
this
I say?
award on Alyssa's behalf is an LA dog walker on a leash with 7 chihuahuas. So. Taking out a lot of ears of corn. What were you going to say, Leonard?
I was gonna say, you know, once again, we want to give a shout out to all the listeners.
Why do we
all
do
the
this
people.
category?
Once again, we don't make the selections.
No, we don't. Although, really, Leonard, if you think about it, what is a worst guest award other than a trophy version of a roast? You know,
Exactly.
Roastmaster
roast
General that you
trophies.
are, you can appreciate that.
Oh, I would love that. Honestly, that'd be great.
All right. Well,
I feel like this award show has gone off the rails with this last award. So let's go ahead and
keep
move on to the
going.
next award.
Leonard, do you recall last year's awards? We did the Blackest movie, which was an award that I wanted to present, but you talked me into letting you present for some reason, which I still don't understand, but fine, I guess. Well, we are now, turnabout is fair play. We are now awarding the whitest film that we watched in season 5. And I wonder if maybe you would like to present this one.
Oh, you gonna let me present it? All right, cool.
Well,
cool,
I mean,
cool.
we're only reading what the HFPA has already decided.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can read the envelope.
I mean, do you have any? I mean, there were some pretty white films this
Free
season.
Willy was pretty white.
Free Willy is very white. Cujo was pretty white. Cujo was also very white. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off might be the whitest movie, but let's see. You picked one. Shoot, what was it? What week was it? You picked one that was like Big. We talked about what a white movie Big is.
Big is so white.
Because only if you are Tom Hanks in the 80s can you go from being an actual child in an adult's body and just get promoted all the way up to the top of a company within 6 weeks.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to present the whitest movie. Here we go. Once again, we don't make these selections. And you know what? It's a pretty feminist film, but A League of Their Own.
A League of Their Own.
Because
we were right about Hanks.
Yeah. They showed you that black people were in it. They were talented, but they still didn't want you. Whitest film.
Yeah. That's a white movie because
it's an inclusion without having to include black people.
Love exclusionary inclusion. That's always great in movies. Well, you know, and so that's like a white feminist movie. Is that what we're saying?
It is.
Yeah. Well,
J.K. Rowling's favorite movie.
That's true. That's canon now as well. Congratulations to the ladies of A League of Their Own. Accepting this award on their behalf is Chet Hanks. So congratulations to Chet. He'll bring that home to his dad and he'll put it on the shelf.
No, Chet, you don't get to talk. Chet, you do not get to talk.
Hey,
Chet.
Chet's also wearing Yeezy slides. That's great.
Well, loved you in Atlanta, though. Loved you in Atlanta, Chet. The only
very funny episode of Atlanta. Very great episode of Atlanta. In fact, some of his best work. All right, Leonard, this could be big because a Penny Marshall movie is gonna win 2 awards in a row because our next award is the best Penny Marshall movie. Now you may recall.
Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Give me a little information in the ear from the security team.
The one guy by the cones.
Apparently someone has tweeted that Michael Jordan is at a smoothie place that is in the vicinity. So just
oh god, we're sitting ducks out here, Leonard. We are wide.
Listen,
open
we've got the protocol. We've planned for this. We're okay. We can get through these last few.
Have you ever seen him in the fucking
few awards?
The dunk contest highlights? 2 cones are not going to stop this man. He's going to vault our security guard. Oh my god! All right, let's go quickly.
All right.
Best Penny Marshall movie. Now, you may recall, Leonard, we did this the same week that we did Best Tom Hanks. We both picked Penny Marshall movies. So we're going to look at that week essentially from a different view. Now, and by we, I mean the HFPA. So let me open the envelope here. It opened. Best Penny Marshall film is Big.
Wow.
Okay,
Both
Leonard, hey, you
me.
got to win. I mean, not
Hey,
really.
hey.
It doesn't count for you, but your film got to win after it would have helped
Yeah.
you.
If you listen to that episode, I basically won that episode, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I think Courtney actually said your movie was the better Tom Hanks movie in the process of picking my movie, which is a kind of bullshit that usually happens to me, but I was so glad to benefit from it.
Oh man.
Which leads us to our last award of the night, Leonard. I can't believe we're here already, but it's the best underdog story award. Underdog stories are as old as film, and so there were plenty of good candidates this season.
And we've done an underdog episode where it was dodgeball, an underdog story.
Yep.
Has underdog in the name.
You did Brewster's Millions.
Brewster's Millions, which I was hoping was going to be me with this lottery this past weekend. I actually went and bought like 3 lottery tickets. I was like, let's see what happens, baby.
And you're here hosting this award show with me, so I assume you did not win any money.
I did not win any money.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Well, that's all right.
Here we are. It's okay.
You're still an underdog, which means you still qualify
well,
for this
the
award.
Underdog won this season, and now I am officially the underdog next season.
That's right.
You will be the reigning champ. There's a lot of these. There's some movies in this. I feel like this is a kind of underdog crop of movies.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
I feel like Dead Presidents is like an underdog movie. It's a nice heist army biopic movie, like it's a lot of things, but it's not necessarily great at any of them, but
mom,
it's good at yeah.
The mom from Cujo was literally under a dog at one point when she was being mauled in that movie, so that's good. That's a literal one.
That's a literal one. I mean, we got Old Boy. I mean, that's talk about an underdog story. That man was trapped in that room for 15 years.
Yeah. Underdog doesn't begin to describe that movie, but it is still wild. That's the first movie of this wild season. But let's see the winner of the best underdog story. Oh, Leonard, you have the envelope for that one. I'm sorry. You go ahead and let us know.
Oh, all right. Best underdog. You know what? This feels pretty fitting. This feels right. It's Aliens. Best underdog story.
Wow.
Because I'm going to tell you, humans are the underdog in any situation of any intergalactic beings that we will ever come across.
I would agree. Have you seen Nope, by the way, Leonard?
Oh, man, that movie was great.
I loved it. And
I loved it.
A great alien movie where humans were the underdog. Yeah. And
it was a cool little twist.
Great twist.
How it looked and everything. And if you're listening, I'm sure you've probably seen it. The only thing that kind of got me was the eye thing. It was a little kitschy. I mean, it was just like a little, all right, but it worked.
Legit. Let's rest so everybody we're hosting, give us a second. That was the one thing. I just got off a conversation on the phone. I was talking with my brother. We both saw the movie. We both loved it. I said, the one thing, this is why we host the podcast together, Leonard. So the one part of it that I felt was like a little bit, and this is a pretty out there movie. I used to spend a lot of was the fact that he's like, if you don't look up at spoiler alert for Nope. If you don't look up, it won't get you. And I'm like, why would that be the case? Why? Like that, it doesn't seem.
Then why did it suck up the fucking statue of the horse then?
Exactly. It seemed like they just wanted to relate it to the story about the horse and the story about the chimp. And so they're like, same deal. If you don't, I get it. If you look an animal in the eye, it's like an aggressive tactic or whatever, but I don't know. Anyway, great movie.
Okay, but wait. Tell me why the chimp tied, the chimp thing was cool, but I wasn't necessarily like connecting it. I haven't looked anything up after the movie or anything though. So
yeah, well, I'm no expert either. I'm just telling you my read on it. I mean, I read people talking about the movie and stuff, but I don't think he's ever said, so it's open for interpretation. It was basically, if you've seen the movie Nope, there's a scene in the beginning where a chimp that is forced to perform in a sitcom goes crazy and starts mauling his cast members. And that scene doesn't seem to factor in, but I think it's the same thing as remember that first scene in the movie after that where
he's basically being
OJ is on set with a horse and they put the the mirror in the horse's face and it sees its own reflection and it kicks because it thinks it's being like, I think it's basically, once you find out the twist of the movie, which is that this flying saucer is in fact an alien, it becomes kind of like a man versus, that's why it sort of felt like Jaws to me at some point, man versus animal, even if it's extraterrestrial. Yeah. And so I think the whole thing about it was like, these are animals, you can't control them, you can't think what you're doing. So the character played by Stephen Ewan, I think was the actor. Did I have his name correct? He was on that sitcom and he never learned the lesson of like, hey, don't, like, animals are not your puppets, you can't control them and make them do whatever. And when he's an adult, he's trying to do the same freaking thing with that alien by feeding it horses, and then that alien one day decides, I'm going to eat you, because you can never truly tame a wild animal.
Okay,
but that's I mean,
I that was the whole tame wild animal thing, but I was like, that still doesn't tie enough of this story to that. For me. Yeah,
it was a little, but that was also the most chilling.
But they both were. But exactly, it was cool as fuck. So it was just like, you just put this cool ass shit in the movie, and it was dope.
Yeah. So
it was like the shoe standing up and shit. I was like, what is this even?
I have less of a read on what that means.
Like, what does this mean?
Something to do with like, I don't know. I mean, people who actually like dissect film are listening to this and being like, these guys are spot on. No, I don't know what they're thinking, but
all I know is
there's that moment where he's asking Keke Palmer, he's like, what's a bad miracle? Like, what's like a thing? And I think it's just like, it's not a miracle that shoe is stood up, but I think it was something about like, you just remember like the weird, I don't know. It's interesting that he saved the shoe. Like it is like, that's like that strange.
He was obsessed with that shit. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. It was captivating. The tone was amazing. It was shot. It was a great movie. I loved it through and through. All right. Oh shit. Yeah. Apparently Jordan is getting closer. We have got to get out of here.
Yeah. Do not make direct eye contact with Jordan or he will go crazy. Okay. So the best underdog story that went to Nope. Oh no, it went to Aliens. That's right. It went to Aliens. Not Nope, which is about aliens. Well, Leonard, another fantastic season of Film versus Film podcast. Is there any other hosting business we need to take care of before we?
No, we're just gonna have a bonus episode.
Run away.
We're gonna have a bonus episode, and then the punish episode as always. We'll maybe talk about some premises for next season.
What are you worried that I'm going to make you do for the punishment episode?
I haven't really thought about it. I'm not really a worrier in that type of way. But the only thing I am worried about is eating hot wings. Like eating something super hot. Mainly because it's worse coming out. Like my butthole is so weak. I'm such a sensitive, weak butthole. And then I just thought about your butthole. I was like, oh, Quinn's poor butthole.
I'm thinking about my butthole. I'll think about my butthole. Thank you very much. I don't think I will be going that route, but I do think I will be finding some way to embarrass or otherwise belittle you. And I look forward to it. We will reveal on our next episode the bonus episode where we will be talking about one or two films that we want on a prompt that we want with no guest. And then we will come back again with the actual punishment episode. But the details of the punishment will be revealed in our next episode, the bonus pick. Prompt to be determined. I see Michael Jordan appearing over the horizon like a man on a horse on the mist in Lawrence of Arabia.
He is on a horse. He's on a horse.
On a horse. There is a flag. We got to get undercover, Leonard. Okay. They need to either finish building Intuit Dome or we got to go somewhere else. So from Intuit Dome or what currently exists of it, I have been your host, Quinn Boys. And
I, Leonard Swift Jr. I gotta go. Let's go.
Okay, goodbye. See you later. See you at the cinema.